Welcome back to Coffee and Sports. This is the morning show powered by Wire to Wire Network. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzak, and to my far right, he's now making his claim, as he did yesterday, for Drake May to be the MVP of the National Football League. He doesn't know better. He does know better. It's Mo Better.
Hey, good morning, Gene. Hey, good morning, Will. Chat. Welcome.
What's happening? Joining us in the middle. He's got the hat on. He grabbed the hat. He's a fan again. He was not a fan at the beginning. He's a fan again. Mr. William D. Morgan.
How y'all doing today? Good to be back. Holiday season kicked my butt, but I am back and I'm ready to talk some sports.
We got a lot to get into, but I mean, I don't want to kill the lead. Last night, the Atlanta Falcons took down the LA Rams in Atlanta, creating a very weird scenario, if you ask me. And I honestly don't know if the NFL would like it this way. I feel like that last night's occurrence actually really hurt the NFL in a couple ways, but we'll talk about that shortly. Very weird scenario that has to do with New Orleans and Atlanta playing in week 18 that a lot of people just don't fully understand. But we're here to break it down. Let's talk about the game first. The Falcons race out to a 21-0 lead on the backs of Bijan Robinson, who had like 195 rushing yards, 47 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. The guy was incredible last night. Bijan went wild. The Rams battled all the way back, followed by an incredible play by Jared Verse, blocking a field goal, recovering his own block, scooping, scoring for a touchdown. Puka Nacua gets in the end zone to win me a fantasy league last night to tie the game.
Me too.
To tie the game. And then the Atlanta Falcons get in field goal range, line up a 50-yard, 55-yard field goal, and it is knocked through the uprights. Then at the end of the game, Puka Nacua makes what I would consider one of the greatest catches I've ever seen that gets ruled an incompletion because the ball seeing air in between his hands before it hits the ground. I hate the way the NFL rules catches and not catches. I should be able to watch something and be like, that was an incredible catch and not be a catch. But your thoughts on the game last night, Mo? Break down anything that you thought between the Atlanta Falcons and the LA Rams.
I thought the Rams sleptwalked in the first half, especially the defense, because look, it showed you something, right? Because if that front four, if they can't get pressure, which they normally do, but if they can't get pressure, you can't attack that secondary. And now Kirk Cousins didn't put up big numbers, but he did just enough because the start of the game was Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is probably the best all-around running back in football right now, the best all-around running back in football when you factor in the ability to run the football, to catch the football, what he can do in space. He can make jump cuts, and I've seen jump cuts 1,000 times, but he can make jump cuts in and out of holes like nobody I've seen other than Barry Sanders. Just an electric performer. Atlanta jumps all over them. To the Rams' credit, they fight back. They come back, and you point out, Gene, Jared Verse, he showed you what a freakish athlete he is. After the block, he scoops the ball up. And usually when a big man picks the ball up, you go, well, you can run him down. Jared Verse pulled away from the field. He has that kind of athleticism, that kind of speed. It was impressive. Look, in the bigger picture, shout out to the Falcons for getting a win and actually putting themselves in play where they have to play meaningful football in week 18. An interesting game, an entertaining game. But I thought that game, the outcome of the game and the way he played throughout most of the game, I thought that game sealed who was going to be the league MVP.
Will, when you watch that, and by the way, you mentioned Bijan. The one thing that I see with Bijan is I feel like the man looks like he's one of the best figure skaters in the world on grass. Like the way he moves his legs, it almost seems like he's gliding and not even running. It's incredible the way he moves himself. That 93-yard touchdown run was a thing of beauty. But, Will, what did you think of the game last night? I know that you're not the biggest Falcons fan in the world, being a Saints fan, but listen, the game gave your Saints game a little bit more meaning next week.
Mm.
The Falcons and the
Mhm.
Saints have nothing really to play for except if the Falcons win, the Carolina Panthers have a better chance, or sorry, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a better
Right.
chance to make the
Right.
playoff.
Mhm.
If the Saints win, then the game on Saturday is now irrelevant. Doesn't matter if Tampa Bay beats Carolina.
Yep. I just thought this was the game that Matt Stafford threw away the MVP. I really thought he was going to be the guy to get it this season. I thought this was the game that he threw it away. Again, they did make a furious comeback to give them credit, but yeah, they slept walked through that first half, came back in the second. But Mo is right. That defensive secondary is suspect. If they don't get pressure within that front four, they can be taken, and that's exactly what Kirk Cousins did. Cousins, we all pick on Cousins for various reasons, but let's remember he's still a competent NFL quarterback. So he did just enough to beat those boys. And I just thought Matthew Stafford threw away the MVP, and I agree with Mo. It should go to Drake May, but we'll see.
Guys, I sound like a broken record here. I've been calling for Drake May for MVP since week 6. I think that he has taken a Patriots team with a rookie running back and Trevion Henderson. I don't want to say a journeyman in Ramondre Stevenson, but a guy that's not listed as anyone's top 10 running backs. A receiving core that features Kayshon Boutte, Stephon Diggs, backpack Mac Hollins, and he's made that team into a possible 14-win team versus Matt Stafford, who's been throwing the ball to 2 Hall of Famers all year and has a top 10 running back in Kyron Williams with the top 10 defense and less wins. I brought this up because there's a stats comparison, right? And when you look at the stats, the statistical breakdown of just the stats, if I blind resumed this without you knowing the team, you would give it to Matthew Stafford. He has more total touchdowns. He has more total yards. He has less turnovers even after 3 last night. But everything I just said about the fact that who he's throwing the football to, where they play football games. Drake May's putting up almost comparable stats in New England, why Matt Stafford does it in a dome in Southern California. I think a lot of that stuff needs to be taken into consideration. So
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that, but I would look at it from this point of view, though. Matt Stafford also plays in a much better division.
That's right.
Drake May's division is trash. That division usually is trash. It was trash the whole time Brady was there. It's trash again. I'm not taking nothing away from Drake May because no one had the Patriots winning this many games. And look, I thought he was talented, but I had no idea what kind of season coming into this year Drake May would have. And so I'm not against it. I think Drake May should be MVP. But I think it was Brett that made the case when you look at the division that Stafford in, that might be what makes it more impressive. How many divisions have 3 teams with that many? That's insane that 3 teams in one division have that many wins.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. It happened last year with the NFC North with the Packers, Lions, and Vikings. It's happening this year with the NFC West with the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams. I wouldn't say that division is trash. It's not trash. New England Patriots play in division with the Buffalo Bills, who have 11 wins, the Miami Dolphins, who are 7-9. I know that they're not the best 7-9 team on the planet, but they're still 7-9. Yes, they have a Jets. Yes, the other division has a Cardinals. I feel like it's a little bit more comparable than you're making it seem. But with that being said, yes, the NFC West is definitely the stronger division. Let's read the resumes out. Let's read them out because we're going to make sure we're on the same wavelength when we make this MVP vote. Is that fair?
Okay.
All right. So Matthew Stafford currently 4,448 yards, 42 touchdowns, 0 rushing. So just make, because that's going to matter in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
8 interceptions, 3 fumbles. That's 11 turnovers. 108.8 quarterback rating, 70% completion percentage. I'm going to do the same thing now with Mr. May. Drake May. Don't have to scroll very long to get to his resume. 71.7% completion percentage. So that's almost identical. 4,200 passing yards with 409 rushing yards. 34 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and 2 lost fumbles. So actually 1 less turnover now. He's been sacked 47 times. Matthew Stafford's been sacked 22. Not sure if that matters to you. Quarterback rating 108. Drake May 112. QBR 70.1 for Matt Stafford. 76.5 for Drake May. Stafford's got more yards. Stafford's got, more touchdowns. Drake May's got a better completion percentage, a better QBR, less turnovers, more sacks. Gentlemen.
What's their yards per completion?
8 yards per completion for Matthew Stafford, 8.9 yards per completion for Drake
May.
That means they're both pushing the ball down the field. They're not dinking and
Yep.
dunking. They're not
Yep.
dinking and dunking.
No, they're pushing it down the field. Yeah.
Both quarterbacks have completed 16 games. I mean, I think it's extremely close, but I've been on the Drake May bandwagon for a while, and I think that the argument is this: division opponents for Matt Stafford, a lot tougher. Players that you're throwing the ball to for Drake May, not as good. Not nearly as good. Not nearly as good. If I'm throwing a ball to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, I might be throwing for 3,000 yards. I probably would. I'm kidding. But that's a really good wide receiving core.
Right.
Which is why my vote is with Drake May. You couldn't recognize nobody in that receiving room in a lineup except for Diggs. And this isn't peak Diggs. This is the current version of Diggs, who's a good player, but he's not a number 1 receiver anymore.
Also, 13 wins for the Patriots, 11 wins for the Rams. And the reason I bring wins up is because if I didn't bring wins up, maybe I should bring up Dak Prescott's stats and throw him up there, because his stats are actually really close to the other 2, but they have 6 wins. So who cares about that?
I just thought it was Matt Stafford's to lose.
Right.
Coming into last night, I thought it was his to lose, but he lost it. You definitely have to take advantage of the teams on your schedule. Atlanta is roster-wise beneath you. You played down to your competition and you lost. So that's why I'm changing my vote to Drake May.
See, Will, the funny thing is this, right? If Matt Stafford goes out this Sunday, because Sean McVay already said, even though the game means nothing to them, they're locked into the 6th seed.
Yep.
That the Los Angeles Rams are playing everyone. Week 18. They lost 2 straight games. We need to play better. That's what he said. If Matt Stafford goes out and puts on a show week 18 versus the Arizona Cardinals, and Drake May doesn't put on a show versus the Miami Dolphins, I'm telling you, the sentimental vote will change. If you're a betting man right now, Drake May's minus 175, Matt Stafford's plus 145. Matthew Stafford has been in the league for 15 years.
Yep.
He doesn't have an MVP. I guarantee you these writers at the end, if it's that close, they will sway to Matthew Stafford to help bolster his Hall of Fame resume, to give him that MVP, that award. I promise you. Drake May's in year 2. They will, he's going to have plenty more chances to win an MVP.
Right.
Yeah, tell that to Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Tell that to guys that played in the league forever that didn't win an MVP, that probably deserved one multiple times.
Yeah.
I am of the influence of I'm going to pick who I think is the most valuable player. But I promise you, there will be writers and voters that are swayed because Matthew Stafford has had a Hall of Fame-like career, and MVP would be the stamp that it needs.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. But another thing with Drake May that makes me go that way, if Drake May goes down with the current roster that he has, I don't think the Patriots would win very many games. If Matt Stafford's go down because of the team that they have, the way they constructed, even with a backup, they may win a game or two. With how that team is constructed and a healthy Devontae Adams.
I think if Devontae Adams doesn't get hurt, he's the difference in last night's game.
Oh yeah, totally.
The reason I bring that up, Mo, the reason I bring that up, I know you watched that game last night, Mo. They were bracketing Puka Nacua the entire night. You can't do that if Devontae Adams is on the field.
Right.
I think the difference in that football game was Devontae Adams not being out there.
100%. It's one of the reasons why, if you watch the game, Matthew Stafford was trying to force the issue. It's one of the reasons why he has the 3 picks. Like, he was really trying to force the ball in the places that he normally wouldn't go to if Devontae Adams was on the field, because you would have to change your coverages because he balances out what Puka does. It changed everything with him, and especially in the red zone. Devontae Adams, even at this stage in his career, is a beast in the red zone.
Yeah, he is.
So now we're looking at week 18. And for all intents and purposes, there's 3 games that matter to me. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of games that matter. I'm sure Atlanta versus New Orleans matters, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this. The leader in the clubhouse right now, the betting odds favorite for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, is Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am blown away 8 weeks ago. I don't think he was listed on the odds. Emeka Ibuka was running away with it. He's not even top 5 anymore.
He was running away with it. He was. Mm-hmm.
And it was Trevion Henderson's show.
Yep.
He gets a concussion. He's out of it.
Yep.
It's basically between Ted McMillan of the Carolina Panthers and Tyler Shuck, with Jackson Dart riding on the coattails. The NFL's a week-to-week league. I'll tell you that.
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's insane, Will.
It's
because
crazy.
Tyler Shuck, nothing against him, but if you look at their seasons, he doesn't have a better season than Jackson Dart.
No, and he's coming in late, and the competition that he's beating isn't top tier. If you would have played early in the season and placed a Rattler and he was doing this, I got you. Okay, that's fine. But you're beating teams like the Jets. You're beating lower level teams who won't make the playoffs. You're beating teams along your level. So I don't get it. I would give it to Dart before I would give it to Shaw.
I wouldn't.
I would.
He's beating the teams that are on the schedule.
Right.
Yeah, but look
you
at
know what I mean.
But look at the quality of the teams that he's beating. He's beating teams along with you. If he was playing earlier in the season and they were doing this, I got you. I understand. They were playing teams like the Bills, and competing, yes, but they were still losing. If he was doing this against teams like that, I got you. I understand it. But look at the competition he's beating.
Well, just because you guys got
I was just gonna say, but just don't forget, the Saints themselves aren't a good team.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you
Right.
act like they're supposed to beat those teams.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not that kind of team. So for him to play as well as he's played, we can't just disregard that. They're all pro teams. They're all pro teams. They're all on the schedule. If we start disregarding your schedule, it kind of waters down the argument for Drake May. They've had a lot of easy games too, but they've won those games. I think you're a Saints fan. You should be excited because I think 8 weeks ago you would have been like, I don't think this kid can really play, or he's not any good, or we're still looking. I think he can play football. I'm not getting out of pocket saying he's going to be a star,
right?
But I think that when you're a fan of a franchise that's struggling, you always want signs of development. You want signs of hope. I think he gives you hope.
But that's why I said teams along your level, and that's what they're doing. They're beating teams along their own level. If he was doing it against tougher competition, I got you. But to beat teams along your, and yes, again, you if you're a fan, you'll probably take this over tanking. We talked about that last night with the Raiders. And it's good to see them. It's good to see them to compete, but I'm not gonna go hard over head here. I want to see more. I want to see him do it against top tier competition before I anoint him that guy. To beat the Titans, to beat the Jets. Okay, that's great, but let's see more. Let's see what you can do against better competition before I anoint you the second coming of anything.
I mean, that's fair, but that goes hand in hand with everybody. Like 1 minute we're loving Jackson Dart, and then the next minute that guy played a football game where he threw for 30 yards. He did that. 30 yards. Like
just because I think it's fun, and because I don't think you guys could point out their blind resumes. I'm going to read these two quarterbacks' blind resumes, and I want you to pick quarterback A or quarterback B. Is that fair?
Okay.
Quarterback A. Won't tell you the. I think that would kind of give it away. Quarterback A has a 67.8% completion percentage. I'm going to give you total yards, rushing and passing, because I don't want to give it away. 2,277 total yards, 11 total touchdowns, 6 total turnovers, a 92.1 quarterback rating, a 48.3 QBR. Okay?
Okay.
Quarterback B, a 63.2 completion percentage, 2,497 yards, 22 touchdowns, 8 turnovers, an 89.8 quarterback rating, and a 58.1 QBR. So quarterback 2 has a higher QBR, a low quarterback rating. Quarterback 1 has, I guess, more, and I love this stat for Mo, 7.3 yards per completion for quarterback A, 6.7 yards per completion for quarterback B. Are you taking quarterback A or quarterback B based off of the blind resume?
quarterback B.
Okay.
Quarterback A.
Okay. So it's
Let's
interesting.
be different.
Well, be different. Pick the one that you think is better out of the resumes.
Okay.
Resumes.
I'll go B.
You guys have both chose Jackson Dart over Tyler Show. Both are good quarterbacks. Both look good. I don't think you're wrong picking either one. But I guess the enigma that last night led us with the Atlanta Falcons winning is that if the Atlanta Falcons beat the New Orleans Saints next week, then the game on Saturday that's supposed to be for the NFC South, that's being played in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida, is meaningless.
Yep.
And the game's in Atlanta.
Yep.
Atlanta's favored.
Yep.
I hate that. I want to watch 3 playoff games this weekend. Well, 2 playoff games and then a game for the 1 seed. This weekend, there's 3 games that really matter outside of that conundrum that happens in Atlanta. On Saturday, the Carolina Panthers travel to Tampa Bay to Raymond James Stadium. They're 2.5-point underdogs. Panthers at Buccaneers for the NFC South, kind of. Who you guys like in that game?
I like that pick. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Will. I'm pulling for the Buccaneers just because I want to stay consistent, but I think the Panthers are going to win.
Okay.
I think the Panthers are going to win too. The way the Bucs have looked the past couple of weeks, that they haven't looked the best.
I 100% think the Panthers win this game. We talked about this yesterday. I'll talk about it again. The Buccaneers have lost 7 of 8 football games.
Yep.
They've been terrible.
Yep.
I don't understand what Emeka Egbuka did to them, that they just stopped using him in the offense. But that'll be interesting. Saturday night, you have a battle for the 1 seed. The Seattle Seahawks are traveling into Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, where the road, listen, the 49ers win this football game. They don't travel outside of that stadium the rest of the year. You don't know, Super Bowl 60 is played in Santa Clara, California.
Mm-hmm.
They would stay home until they lose if they win this football game. If they lose this football game, they will not be home until they make the Super Bowl. That's how big this football game is. The Seattle Seahawks coming off an impressive win 2 weeks ago versus the Los Angeles Rams in overtime, coming off a win at Carolina, play San Fran for all the marbles, who's coming off an impressive win at home versus the Chicago Bears, off an impressive win that they had on the road at the Indianapolis Colts. Niners, Seahawks. Will, who you got?
Let me ask you this before I make my choice. What's the health of George Kittle?
George Kittle's looking like he's going to play. He was doubtful to play this Sunday. Looks like he's going to play this Saturday.
Okay. If it looks like he's going to play, I think he could be the difference maker. I got the 49ers.
Mo?
I'm going to ride with the 49ers because that's my team. Even though I don't feel good about what Robert Saleh has to work with, because he has done wonders with a defense that has no pass rush at all. I believe the Niners are last in the league in sacks. We have no pass rush. If we can't get any kind of pressure on Sam Darnold, we're going to lose a football game, plain and simple. We're going to lose a football game. So I think one or two things. They've got to get pressure, or they've got to find a way to generate turnovers, or we're going to lose the football game.
Pressure bust pipes.
But to their credit, the 49ers have been next man up all year. So this won't be any different.
No, I'm agreeing with you, Will, but I'm saying, like, look at the game against Chicago. That's not a sustainable path through the playoffs, that we're going to score 40-plus points, and that's how we're going to win because we can't stop anybody. If that's the plan, we'll be out in the first round. We're getting knocked out.
Guys, I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be negative. I've actually picked the San Francisco 49ers to go to the Super Bowl before the season started. Mo remembers that. I have to change my tune.
Uh-oh.
And the tune is not changed because of Robert Saleh. It is changed a little bit because of the pass rush. George Kittle's banged up. Christian McCaffrey, that fourth quarter looked like a shell of himself. His back is absolutely hurt. He's over 400 touches already going into week 18. He's beat up. And I said this around week 8, week 9. I'm like, he is on an historic pace for touches. They need to limit the touches that this guy takes. He missed a whole year the last time they did shit like this.
You did say that.
I'm going with Seattle. Defense travels. That defense is incredible. And I almost feel like that Seattle defense plays better on the road than they do at home. I don't know what Mike McDonald's putting in these guys' Cheerios, but when they wake up in the morning, they are absolutely attacking and hunting football. I think that Seattle's defense limits Kyle Shanahan's offense. I got the Seattle Seahawks winning this game. And honestly, the 49ers should be thanking their lucky stars that the Rams lost last night, because that gives them a game at Carolina or at Tampa instead of having to play at Soldier Field again, playing the Bears again, but now on the road, playing at Philadelphia. Those two places are a lot tougher to play in the first round of playoffs. I think the 49ers are running on E. I think they're trying to get to the gas station. If they can get this win and they can get that bye week and refill the gas tank week off, I think things could change. Yeah. But I think they're running on E, and I'll take the Seattle Seahawks in this game. I think it's gonna be a good football game. I do. Yeah.
Gene, let me ask you this. What quarterback do you trust more? Because Purdy's playing
Purdy.
well.
Brock Purdy.
He's playing well.
Yeah, but no, Sam Darnold, every time he goes up against an elite team, he turns the ball over multiple times.
Yeah.
He's got 9 turnovers versus the Rams. Now, granted, they've overcome the second time.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Brock Purdy a million times more than I trust Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was in this game last year, Will?
Yeah.
Same game. Playing for the 1 seed. He was just with the Minnesota Vikings, and they played the Detroit Lions, and they laid an egg.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got slaughtered the first round of playoffs. I just feel like the 49ers have sustained way too many injuries. And I think when the defensive ones are holding on by a thread, you're missing Fred Warner, you're missing Nick Bosa, you're missing a lot of elite players. Then you get the offensive ones. The 2 most important players on that offense are Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. And both those guys are banged up. They're not 100%. I got to go with Seattle here. My mind is telling me I want to pick the 49ers.
No, I'm with you.
I get you. That run game is amazing.
I'm pulling for the Niners. Obviously, that's my squad. But
yeah,
look, I when people use the term Super Bowl contenders, I think that gets thrown around too much. I think the Niners have had a great season. I think they've overachieved, but I do think they're running on fumes at the end of the season, while some other teams are coming in with a lot of more momentum. And you look, defense travels. You're right. I just don't think we have the bodies defensively to play against some of the elite offenses. And to think that even though Brock's played well, that him and that offense is going to put up 30-plus points in multiple playoff games, I don't think that's realistic.
So you're not trusting Brian Robinson to come up for CMC?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not trusting Brian Robinson. And by the way, I absolutely trust Brock Purdy, but Brock doesn't play defense. He can't control what happens on defense. And if the defense is getting destroyed, that puts more pressure on the offense.
Next playoff game. This is a playoff game. This is an absolute playoff game. Win and you get in. And its spread is very telling. But the thing that I guess is question, the Baltimore Ravens, with or without Lamar Jackson, are headed into Pittsburgh to play a playoff game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers without the Carrion Metcalf.
He called him by his government name.
I'm not. I'm calling him the Carrion the rest of his career. I'm hoping he punches me in the face.
Gina, take that bloody nose.
And then he can go on and say that I called him a racial slur.
Yup.
Proven that I didn't because of a career and a history that I've never I can't wait. I want him to punch me in the face.
DK, you got to do better, bro. You got to do better. Come on, man.
Well, it's funny because the Carrion Metcalf might cost his team an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Being stupid. Pittsburgh
Steelers, first and goal. Incomplete pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Second goal. Incomplete pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Fourth and goal. Incomplete pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Do you think if those 3 passes were thrown to the Carrion Metcalf that he didn't catch one of them? Especially that fade ball.
Yeah, he's catching that fade. He's catching that fade.
I think it's hilarious to me. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go out and be knocked out of the playoffs. And I honestly think that the Baltimore Ravens, this is going to sound stupid, but I think they have just as good a chance to win this football game with Snoop Huntley as they do with Lamar Jackson.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Lamar Jackson's healthy. The game plan that he came up with, Monkey came up with, was perfect to Huntley's skill set. Look, Huntley is kind of like a watered down Lamar, but he made it work. But more importantly, they remembered there's a 250-pound guy that runs a 4.4 40.
Mhm. That's a freight train, boy. That's a freight train.
Mo, you're speaking factual statements. You know, a lot of these guys, Todd Monken got a lot of grief about his play calling in Baltimore. And then he gets a lot of credit when he, develops a great game plan for Snoop Huntley. Another guy that used to be the Ravens' former offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. Do you know he's still in the league playing?
Oh, yeah.
He's an offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
We're in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it time that we start saying it might not be the offensive coordinator and it might be Lamar Jackson just ad-libbing plays? I love Lamar. I think Lamar's great, but I feel like Baltimore Ravens fans, and this is where I agree with Jory. Me and Jory don't see eye to eye on everything, but where I agree with her is it's always someone but Lamar. The excuses are something, but they're not Lamar. It's the play calling. They didn't run the football. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Guys, I don't know if Lamar's checking these plays at the line of scrimmage to passes. I don't know. Do you think Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP winner, has the clout to change plays at the line of scrimmage? I do. I think he does.
He does. He does.
What do you guys like in this Baltimore Ravens Pittsburgh Steelers matchup?
It's weird to say this at the state that we're in, but I do think absent of a DK Metcalf, that's going to hurt the Steelers offense big time. I actually give the advantage to the Ravens. I like the Ravens to win. I think Derrick Henry goes for over 100 yards, gets another 35-plus carries.
Will?
I like the Ravens. I think they run the football, and that's going to wear down that Steelers defense. And that's a very good Steelers defense, but I think they run the football to wear them down. And that lack of an offensive threat on the other end for the Steelers is going to really come up to hurt them. And this is where DK is just being a jackass and really hurts his team.
Don't sleep on this thing, though. I will say this. Aaron Rodgers is terrific at utilizing his tight ends to attack linebackers who aren't that great in coverage.
And he's got two of them.
And I'm only saying that because a couple of the Ravens linebackers, they're thumpers, but they're not good in coverage.
And he's got two good tight ends on that side of the ball. So you bring up a good point.
I'm going to bring you guys back just a few short years ago. This is just 4 years ago. The Tennessee Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC behind Derrick Henry with Ryan Tannehill as their starting quarterback. When you rely on the king in December and January, a lot more football games are won. I love Jory's comment that she said in the chat the other day. The Ravens, remember, they have a Hall of Fame running back.
Yeah.
I like the Baltimore Ravens in this one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's switch gears for a minute. I want to move over to the NBA. Move over to the hardwood. Nikola Jokic, the MVP of the league so far. He's been absolutely incredible. Went down with a very gruesome injury last night.
I saw that.
Almost like a non-contact, some hyperextension. Some people think ACL. I don't know what the initial reports are, but it doesn't look good. And I think at minimum, you're missing Jokic for at least a month or so. After watching the Denver Nuggets last night without Nikola Jokic, I don't know if they can sustain a month and a half without Nikola Jokic. Mo, I'm going to go to you first, being our resident NBA expert. What did you think about the injury? What did you think about Jokic? And how bad do you think it could be?
Let me start with the injury. Look, as a fan, I hope worst case scenario is he misses a month. That at least we know it's not season ending. But if he misses a month because of what he means to the Nuggets, by the time he comes back, they're not in the playoffs. That they're Jamal Murray and what they have remaining is not enough. When Jokic comes back, they'll be a ninth seed. They probably won't make the playoffs.
So it looks like, and this is what update just happened this morning. This is like 7:41, so I wouldn't have time to really kind of put this together. But it looks like he's avoided the ACL. Encouraging update.
Good.
Amid
Very
ACL.
good. Very good.
It looks like it might just be a hyperextension, and a
Okay.
hyperextension will land him out 20 games,
Okay.
about a month.
Okay.
But I guess that's the best case scenario. I watched
is.
the injury last night, and it looked terrible. I mean, he basically got carted off the court last night. I mean, he got up, but like he was not okay.
Yeah, put no weight on it. Yeah, look, if that is what's going to happen,
I agree with Kyle.
I agree with Kyle. He got lucky. Look,
Yep.
I think the NBA fans, we got lucky. I don't
Yep.
want to see no great players go down. I don't.
I also don't want to see the Nuggets without Nikola Jokic, because they're
I'm glad you pointed that out, Gene. Yes, because they also have a lot of TV games, and I don't want to see the Nuggets on TV minus the Joker.
Exactly.
they're awful without him, bro. They're
Yeah,
so
they are.
like,
Everything they do rolls through him. And like
They're
Mo
all-
said, there's not enough on that team to win without him. Not enough.
It's fun. They lost that game 147 to 123, and it was tied at halftime.
Yep.
No, like, that's
Yeah.
why I don't want to see any games without Nikola Jokic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Believe that.
I'm hanging up the phone. I'm done. I'm not watching anymore.
I agree.
All right. Well, another comment in the NBA, and I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinions because I want to sound off on this. It really pissed me off a little bit, but I don't know if it happened a while ago or if it just happened recently. But Draymond Green, it looks like it came out yesterday. I'm going to read you the quote. I feel like he gets brutally honest about playing on Christmas Day. And then I want to hear your reactions, and then I want to give mine. The quote is, "Playing on Christmas effing sucks. The reason it sucks, number one, is it can affect your mood. Number two, we are human beings and enjoy Christmas with our families. Honored to miss family time, honored to miss your kids opening gifts, honored to go to work. No one works on Christmas Day." Because the question they asked him was, are you honored to be playing on Christmas Day for like an 8th consecutive year? And he just went off on the playing on Christmas Day effing sucks. And blah, 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 blah. I don't want to give you my opinion without hearing yours. Maybe I'll be swayed. But all right, I'll stop. Let me just do this. Will, I can hear your opinion. Let me hear Mo's opinion. Let me see if Mo can put some, charge back into me.
He'll be nicer than me. Go ahead, Mo.
You're being paid millions of dollars to play a kids game.
Thank you.
Millions of dollars to play a kids game. You're a millionaire. You can have Christmas on the road with your family. You've got that kind of money. You've got that kind of sway. Woe is you, because you're a millionaire and you have to play on Christmas Day. That's a horrible that's a horrible look for the league. It's a horrible look for him. There are hard working class people that have to work Christmas Day, and they just deal with it. You're a millionaire making millions of dollars to play a game, and you're whining that you have to go on national TV to play a basketball game, and you act like you can't say, look, don't open the gifts. Dad can take the red eye home and we'll open them the next day. I mean, that's how much inconvenience you would endure. Like, Draymond's act is getting old, and saying stuff like this doesn't help. There are a lot of some of the older guard that I'm ready to go. He's one of them.
Will?
Draymond need to shut the hell up. I've worked Christmas Day. I find that offensive. I have 3 kids that I have to work for, and I've worked Christmas Day and to do what I gotta do. And then after I get done working, I come back home, we open the gifts, we eat dinner, we have a good time. Don't sit here and disrespect the people who are paying for your tickets to see you play. Don't disrespect us like that, Draymond. Stop being a jackass. I'm sick of this dude, man. I'm sick of it. Oh my God. Everybody who works retail, everybody who works in these gas stations, everybody who works a customer facing job has that possibility to work Christmas. And you are a millionaire and you're getting mad about walking out to a basketball court and dribbling a basketball for one day?
Right.
Man,
Will, don't forget the security, the vendors, and all those people that have to work that stadium while
Yeah.
they're playing. Like they got to work too.
yeah.
So,
Miss me with this dude, man.
so
Hell up.
I mean, that's perfect. What Mo just added. I was going to bring up the people that work at Wawa or 7-Eleven. When you're going to have Christmas dinner with your family and you stop at Wawa to grab a coffee, to a person that's making $11.48 an hour. The vendors that work at Aramark that are making $19 or $17 an hour to work on Christmas Day because they pay them time and a half on Christmas Day. I'm so happy for those guys making $17.50 an hour. The NBA players have complained about a lot. They don't like the 65 game minimum because it's messing up their money. They don't like back-to-backs. They don't like long travel days. They don't want an 82 game season. They want to play less games. Now we're complaining about playing on Christmas Day when people that work at Wawa have to in order to have a job. They complain about everything. The All-Star game, the breaks, everything. The fans chirping with them too much. The amount of money that these guys get paid to play a game that I pay money to play. I have to pay money to go play softball in a league. I don't play for free. They don't pay me to play. I got to go pay money to play a game. These guys are getting paid to play a game that they play 35 to 40 minutes a night if you're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to play the next day because
Right.
they had 40 minutes of really strong cardio. I am embarrassed every time I hear an NBA player talk. I'm embarrassed every time I hear the All-Star weekend complaints that happen over the dunk contest. You can't put on the dunk contest to put on a show for these fans that are paying millions of dollars. I am embarrassed. Look, let me preface this last one by saying, if you say something out of pocket about someone's family or racist, or you deserve what you get in the stands. But I am embarrassed that Russell Westbrook walks over to fans in the stands that call him Westbrook and wants to start a fight with them. I'm embarrassed that players like the Carey and Metcalf don't like getting called by their governor name and they punch a fan in the stands. You get paid millions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
to play a game.
Yep.
And I'm paying $100 a month to talk about it.
Yep.
I can't stand this bullshit. I can't stand it. And as much as I love the NBA, it almost makes me want to protest it. I won't because I love it. Yeah.
You know what? And I know I might get called out on my age here, but back in the day, we didn't have none of this bullshit. None of it back in the day.
Well,
None of it.
You wonder why people relate so much more to Michael Jordan than they do to today's modern day athlete. I have a quote I want to read to you guys, and it's a quote I posted just a couple days ago. If you've forgotten the language of gratitude, you'll never be on speaking terms with happiness.
Yep.
I would be so grateful to be able to play a game for 10 times my salary that I work now.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I work a lot more hours than Draymond Green does, especially over the holiday season.
Same.
So
And I just think back in the day with Magic, with Larry, with Michael, you didn't have this. Those guys were honored to go out there and play 82 games because they wanted to prove themselves to the guys in the stands and to other players that they were the guys. They were the litmus test, and they wanted to go out and prove that 82 games back in the day. We don't have that same pride now in the NBA. They want to be coddled and soft and just be treated soft as a baby. And it just pisses me off with this generation of the NBA player.
we would prefer that you show up to work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Show up to work.
every goddamn day.
How many seasons Mike play 82? Like
9.
nine straight seasons he played 82 straight. Man, get out of here.
My thing is this: there's a reason the ratings are down.
Mhm.
Like, and think about this: you have access to watch the NBA in more places than ever. All the different streaming apps, social media apps, and which would track and help. It should promote and elevate, and the ratings are down. People are turning off the game because they're turned off by the players. And this idea that, like Cottrell said, God forbid a guy 15 years in. Right, but you say 15 years in, like he's a sergeant in the military 15 years in. Or
he's a beat cop.
Right, 15 years in. He's a basketball player, and I get it, it's his job, but they don't get paid $1,800 a month or $3,000 a month. These guys make millions of dollars to play a game, and all we want them to do is show up for their job. We want you to show up to work.
This pisses me off. Cottrell, I love you, bro. I do. This is the most ignorant shit you've ever.
You're losing the content of the context of the whole situation with that.
Right.
Give me 30 seconds for this one. This is the most ignorant shit you've ever posted, and I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit here. Shut Up and Dribble was mentioned because a professional athlete used their platform to speak up against inequality, and it was used on. It was the phrase was used by Tommy Lauren from Fox News.
She's one of them. She's one of them.
To say a statement to silence someone's voices. I'm embarrassed that a person that has millions of dollars that can have Christmas Day on the 26th, on the 24th, they can have Christmas Day on March 17th. They can have Christmas Day on July 17th. They can have Christmas Day every day of the year with the amount of money that they make. And you use that as a reason for this man to go on TV and complain about getting paid millions of dollars to pay. By the way, God forbid a guy 15 years wants to spend time with his family. Guess what he can do, Cottrell? He can retire at 37 years old and never have to work another day in his life because of what he's played a basketball game. So if he wants to spend time with his family, retire.
Or because these games are scheduled in advance, it's not like he can't afford to get a nice hotel room and take the gifts on the road, right?
Thank you.
He can still celebrate Christmas with his family. I'm just saying he act like he's so inconvenienced. I guess Draymond should be happy from this standpoint. He won't have to complain about not spending time with his family All-Star game weekend. He won't have to worry about that because he won't be there.
He'll be there All-Star week. He'll be there with them All-Star week.
The funny thing is he won't be there as a participant, but I bet he's there. What, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to spend that time with your family, but just show up then.
Oh, and the first person who said that phrase was Fox News host Laura Ingraham.
Laura Ingraham, not Tommy Lauren.
And that was to LeBron, I believe.
That was to LeBron.
Yeah.
It was LeBron at first. And then she said the same thing about Kevin Durant.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Terrible. I don't know what else to say after that, but I frustrating if I'm being honest with you. But the last comment, he makes so much money he can't complain about Christmas not being home. So again, shut up and dribble. You're just missing the fucking point.
You're missing the whole context. Everything has context, and you're missing it here. If he wants to spend time with his family, as Mo said, pack the kids up, do Christmas in a hotel.
Golden State. The game was at home.
It was at home. It was at home. He could spend Christmas with the kids in the morning and get his ass to the game by game time.
Right. That's what I missed. It wasn't like the game was at 9 a.m. They didn't have Christmas. They didn't open gifts in the morning.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Draymond, a lot of guys, not all, and I'm not making a blanket statement about NBA players, but a lot of NBA players like to complain for the sake of complaining. Draymond's one of them.
And by the way, NBA viewership has generally been down in recent seasons, including a slight 2% dip in 2024-2025. In the 2025-2026 season, the NBA ratings are down 4.5% from last year. So I guess I'm not the only one that feels like.
I keep trying to tell people and they try to blame it like they're saying, well, it's because baseball's had a renaissance. Baseball's had a renaissance, but baseball's not hurting the NBA's ratings.
No, not at all.
It's the product on the court. Somebody said, well, what about the WNBA is a summer league. They're not killing you. It's your own product, your own players, and how you promote the game and how your players promote the game. I don't think guys have to play 82 games. I don't. It's a different time. But you got guys now, Jim brought it up earlier. They don't even want to do the 65 games.
Nope.
They don't even want to do that.
Nope.
Damian said, I kind of agree with Draymond because missing your kid's graduation or birthday just to play a stupid game. Do you know Americans do that every single day of their life? Not just Americans, people around the world miss their kids' birthdays, their parents' birthdays, graduations because they have to work.
We have a thing
to provide for their family.
We have a thing called bills, little thing called bills that come in the mail every week, every month that we have to pay. And as men and females as well have to go out and make sure their families are taken care of. That's what being an adult is. And if you can't come through and play a basketball game for something that you signed up for and that you're complaining about, I lose all respect for you.
That's basically what we got. 9:59. Appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. Will, any final comments? I know you probably won't be on until next year. So
I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Didn't get a chance to do that before I left. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New
Peace
Year.
and prosperity, and everybody, please remain healthy.
Mo, any final thoughts? I think we have. I don't know if we're doing a show tomorrow morning. We'll message offline. But any final thoughts?
No, I enjoyed this. Enjoyed chopping it up. Even the last topic. Appreciate the energy coming from the chat. Cottrell, you're my guy. We just disagree on this one, but look, love the passion. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for tuning in this morning to Coffee and Sports, the morning show powered by Wire to Wire Network. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzak. That's William D. Morgan, host of the Sports Report. And as the man that knows better, it's Mo Better. We are signing out.